at the outset, congratulate Buds Academy for their effort to bridge this academia and industry gap. It's a broad topic. I would say it's nothing concrete and solid. Things keep changing. So are the requirements of the industry that are changing. 15 years back when I probably joined my first job, the requirements or the expectation from the employees, especially from freshers just like you, were very different. The mobile phones we use, what they were like 10 years ago, what they are today, and who knows what they're going to be in 10 years to come, right? So the requirements keep changing, the expectations keep changing. They're just looking out for demand. And I'll tell you one of my recent examples. I had to fill a position for one of my teams, and we had a tough time finding the right candidate for 3 months. And eventually the management said, okay, you're able to work for 3 months without the person, so you probably can work further, right? And they closed the position. So that's and somebody, with the qualities that we were looking for. And what are the qualities that we were looking for? It's just not the academics, right? Academics definitely is one piece. What will your scores tell me? If I were to interview you, what will your scores tell me? If they tell me that, hey, you're interested in doing what you do, you're interested in learning, gathering all the knowledge, and you're good at what you learn, right? If whatever you were provided with an opportunity to learn, you really learned that well. So if I give you a new thing, I can be very confident that yes, you'll be able to do that. But that alone is not going to help us. There's a bunch of lists. I was trying to put some things together. Let me look back. Right? I'll try to put it more correlated to budding engineers like all of you who are trying to make their give their careers a kickstart, right? The number one thing that most of us look for is obviously, in the screening levels itself, when we first get your resumes, those are the first things we see is how good are you at your academics? Just to know, okay, hey, that's the level of interest, that's the passion you put in, group discussions, right? Now, what do we check in group discussions? So it's just not your subject expertise. We don't look at, okay, if I ask you to discuss, okay, who's going to win 2020 US presidential elections, right? That could be a topic that I give you. But the idea is not to really look at, okay, how much you know US economy or US political or geographical differences, or how much do you know Trump or Biden or something like that. The idea there is to check your communications. The idea there is to check how you put across your points, to the other persons, across the table, basically. And then, also, there's a bunch of things we observe. How inclusive are you? How much are you respecting other people's opinions? Or, that passion. Hey, how can I do this better? How can I do this faster? Is there something that I can develop, like a reusable code snippets, right? Something that people can use. Can I look at some of those pain points in the team and try and develop some automated tools, or some kind of framework or whatever that can help ease out that situation or that pain point, right? And the other thing we look at is how adaptable you are, because like I said earlier, things are going to change. Whatever was like a top thing yesterday is not today. Probably 15 years ago, artificial intelligence, machine learning, the digital transformation that we're seeing, that we're all seeing today, we're just out of question, right? But today, if you see, they are the future of IT industry. Manual testing, or somebody able to write just plain Java code. That's not going to take us anywhere. That's not what the industry is looking. But how do you be prepared for all of these new things? Obviously, there is no way. I don't expect anybody coming out of engineering college to be an expert with machine learning algorithms and go start implementing them on Python or something. Now that's not what we expect, right? But what I expect is you understanding the concepts of basic programming, be it object oriented, be it databases. Do you have some other good exposure on other stuff, or even if you're talking about electronics, do you have that whatever is needed for that? Do you have that core knowledge that you can bring in? And think of it like this way. And I'm sorry if I'm like correlating too much to computer science, because that's my background, that's my bread and butter. But think of it this way: all this technology that we use is like language, right? Let me use this metaphor. It's a language. Whether you write the code in Java, you write it in C, you write it in Python, you choose some other stuff. This Hive, this, that, a bunch of those. All of these are languages, but what you need to actually deliver is you need to have that basic thought. You need to understand the grammar. You need to understand what is the point you want to communicate. Then it doesn't matter, be it, these are all just languages to communicate that the point you have. Exactly the same way, once you understand the basic concepts of programming or all that stuff, and you build your problem solving skills, you build your algorithmic skills, then taking up any new language and actually becoming an expert at it is going to be a cakewalk. Let me tell you this, it's really a cakewalk. So I see a lot of people come to me and ask, okay, how do I do this? I'm panicked, I've never worked on this. But that's okay. We all learn, we all do, and that's exactly what we look for when we kind of interview people and we're trying to recruit people into the industry, right? So that adaptability, that's okay. I don't mind. I've been working in Java, but that's okay. If you want me to work on databases, I'll work on it, right? So that willingness to be adaptive, the willingness to learn are those important things which have. The other important aspect is being a good team player, right? Again, you can correlate to things in your college. You don't want to hang out with friends who are like more about, oh, I got this done. I just, I'm done. I'm taking off. But who gets more, a good friends and circle is people who look for, okay, hey, somebody in need of help. Let me go, lend my hand, kind of those things. Those are the exact traits that we want you guys to bring to the table when you're near at your jobs as well, right? Be a team player. Being a team player means looking out for help and, feeling no shame to even ask for help. Nothing wrong. Nobody's perfect. Even today I ask my manager, hey, I'm looking for this, I need your help. That's absolutely fine. But you need to understand what to ask help for, what you have to struggle yourself and figure it out, and be willing to look at other team members, help them, and standing up to challenge. When something comes up new and everybody in the team says, no, we don't know how to do this, then that's it. The team is going to be doomed, right? But if somebody steps up, that's an excellent team player, and say, okay, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. Or I've done it and I can lead this for the rest of the team. That's fantastic attitude that you bring to the table. And that's exactly what we look for, right? And be ambitious. There's nothing wrong, right? Be ambitious. Always have your plans. 1-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan. Those are some of the questions that I typically ask recruiting college grads. What do you want to do in 20 years? So I want to be a CEO of the company. Nothing wrong, but being ambitious and it should just not be a word, right? Okay, I want to be a CEO. That doesn't take you anywhere, or it doesn't help you in any way. But what helps you is having that ambition and actually working towards it. Take those little baby steps, one step at a time, and that's absolutely fine. But keep building towards that goal. Maybe you won't become a CEO, but you will end up somewhere, a senior vice president, executive vice president, I don't know, a president. You may head a division. That's absolutely fine. But then you got to march towards it, and that's what we look. If I'm talking too big, maybe for you all guys, but I really want you guys to have this thought at the back of your minds when you start off your career. It should just not be a job. So what's the difference between a job and a career, right? So job is what I do today, right, to get my bread and jam, right? But career is what I develop over a period of time. And I started as somebody. Today I'm somebody else. Tomorrow I want to be something else. So that is my career. And what is my job? Whatever I'm doing today is my job. So always be career oriented and not job oriented. But your job is your way of making your career, right? If it is confusing, let me know. I can explain detail, but I hope I'm able to, convey my intentions to you. They're mostly college dropouts, right? But that doesn't mean you need to really have that textbook knowledge. Well, the textbook knowledge really helps you. Learning things will always help you. You never know when you can make good use of those skills that you learn. But what we want is more practical approach. Your ability to read between lines, to see beyond what is visible, right? And being street smart, like think of everything like, okay, here is a problem. I mean, to me, an engineer is somebody who solves problems, right? Definitely not, the calculus. I'm really bad at it, but the practical problems in the world, right? At every level. So it could be something that you help your mom in the kitchen, or your dad with his car. I don't know, any scenario, but always visualize this thing, right? You have a problem at hand, and how, what can I do, and how do I solve this problem? That's the key thing to differentiate yourself and to bring out, and that's exactly what industry is looking for today. Industry does, it's okay to be, somebody who's good at academics and be able to deliver what is asked of them or expected of them. That's perfectly fine. But is it exactly what the industry is looking for? Is absolutely no. We're looking for something more. Always bring something more to the table. Differentiate yourself. There are a million ways to differentiate yourself. You can go out and say, hey, I've done something that none of my friends in the college have done, right? That tells me that you're a go-getter, that you're not afraid of doing new things, and carry those traits. It's just not doing it for the sake of getting a job, but build that and embed that into yourself. I think all those things put together will really help you stand out, shine, and differentiate yourself from the rest of the group, and get that coveted role and those beautiful careers that you all want